Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Rati here. So today's video is somewhat different and special. In this video, I'm going to talk about something about which I have never talked about before. It's a new topic. I'm going to give you 3 tips to read for personal development. Now you might just wonder, what on earth do I mean by reading for personal development? Reading is just reading, right? Literally the act of reading. Well, this is true that reading is literally the act of reading. But when you are just reading unconsciously, then you cannot really read for personal development. But if you incorporate a couple of fun exercises in your process of reading, then reading not just becomes more interesting, fun and dynamic, but it also helps you connect with your own self intuitively and creatively, and thus help you in your journey towards self-development. So without much ado, let's begin the video. The first tip I have is specifically for reading fiction books. For example, if you're reading classics, then you could apply this tip. So whenever you're reading a work of fiction, make a note of that particular character which inspires you the most. It could be the most positive character of the novel or the story, a character which, let's say, has a lot of grit, determination, zest for life, a character which overcame a lot of challenges and still emerged victorious at the end of the novel or the story. It's the kind of character which, makes you go like, wow, I wish I were this character in my real life, or I wish I could have even half the qualities of this character. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a positive character. All sorts of characters inspire us. It could be a character with shades of grey, or it could even be a predominantly negative character. A lot of negative characters also have a lot of positive attributes. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a positive character, but a character that you like, a character you have fallen in love with, a character that you have been inspired by tremendously. Make a mental and a physical note of that character as well while you're reading the novel, or after you've read the novel, immediately after you've read the novel. Make it a point, do it like an exercise, that take a note of that character, think of the attributes, the particular attributes that you're drawn to in that character, that you like in that character, and those attributes, those kind of attributes which you would yourself like to adopt for your personal life. It's important to take a note. So spend some time thinking about that particular character. You could even think about, particular attributes that that character doesn't have, and embellish it with those attributes to make that character even more wonderful. But the whole point of making a note of this character and writing the character sketch is for you to connect intuitively and imaginatively to that character. Since you already like that character, you will be able to connect that character to your personal life trajectory, your personal life journey. It could be the childhood protagonist from Charles Dickens' novels. It could be any character from the wonderful short stories of R.K. Narayan or Ruskin Bond. Or it could be one of the heroines of Jane Austen's novels. It could be any character, but a character you like and you have fallen in love with. Do try out this exercise. The second tip I have is roleplay. Now, roleplay sounds fun and interesting. It is essentially a device of the theatre, but you can adopt it for reading as well. Now, this exercise again is meant for works of fiction only. You cannot apply this to books of non-fiction. So here again, pick up any novel. You could pick up your favorite novel or the novel or short story you're currently reading, and pick up 2 characters from that work of fiction. You could even pick up 1 character, but it's better you pick 2 characters. And this kind of role play, I think it would be better if there would be at least 2 people. 1 character would be adopted by you, and the other character by some other person, your friend or whoever with whom you're indulging in the role play. So 2 of you. Now here the catch is that you just adopt the basic gist of the character, the basic sketch of the character from the novel. So for example, there is this particular character of a lady in a novel and a man in a novel. Both of them are in love with each other, and both of you have taken these characters, you and your friend. Then you don't have to enact these characters as they're given in the novel. That would be boring. The whole exercise of roleplay means that you just take the basic character and then you create your own character as you go along. You improvise, and as the lady and the man are having a dialogue, you could even take the setting of the novel to different places in which the novel is not even located. So this is basically an exercise of your creativity and imagination. You could just let your imagination run wild, and you use your own discretion in developing that character. You could even make it context specific, and if you want to make that role play even more fun and interesting, you could even do like a proper acting, think of different places, go to different places as that lady and that man. I know this sounds crazy, but this is, believe me, a fun exercise. And if you're not comfortable, doing it with someone, you can even do the role play yourself. Just adopt 2 different voices, 2 different characters, and then do the role play, like a monologue. What you could also do is just pick up one character from the novel, the work of fiction, and the second character you invent yourself, and then those 2 characters are having a conversation again which you have improvised. Now, if you're not very comfortable with improvisation, then you could even write your own character sketch and have a little bit of homework before you do the role play. But the most important thing here is that you don't have to just pick up the whole character as it is from the novel. That would spoil the exercise. You just pick up the gist of the character and develop the character in your own way as you go along. Role play, again, it is going to immensely help you in your personal development, because it's going to get you more connected with that novel. You're going to remember it forever because you did this kind of role play with it. And B, it's going to make you connect, those characters that you adopted for the role play with your own self, and you're going to make it connected with the life around you. So personal development, you see, is not just about positivity or that kind of self-development. It is also the act of catharsis, where all your emotions, whether positive or negative, find an act of release, and an act of understanding yourself by connecting with all sorts of people, all sorts of characters from across the world. That's in fact one of the aims of acting, of theatre. So this kind of role play would let you do precisely that, and it would thus help you in your personal development. The third and the final tip which I have is for works of non-fiction. This doesn't apply to works of fiction. Now, a common problem which we face, at least I do face this problem a lot when I'm reading works of non-fiction, is that, those kind of works in which there's a lot of information and knowledge on different topics, like it could be about yoga, or it could be about music, or it could be a particular theory about something, or it could be even about food and nutrition. When you're reading these non-fiction books, you immensely enjoy the act of reading. You really enjoy those while you're reading these books. But after you have read works of non-fiction, the problem is you don't really remember anything later on. At least I don't. In fiction, because it's like characters which are relatable to human life, so you remember some of these characters even years and years after. But in case of non-fiction, all of it just flies out of the window. So in that case, how do we make non-fiction work for personal development? I think the idea is and it's a very simple exercise. While you are reading any book of non-fiction, just take chapter-wise notes. So for example, you read this particular chapter, and then you just, whatever is the gist of the chapter, whatever you learned from the chapter, the summary, keep on taking notes. And trust me guys, once you have read a lot of non-fiction and you look at all these notes, and you'll be really proud of your accomplishments. And wow, I read so much. Otherwise, as I said, non-fiction just goes out of the window, it just flies out of your head. I think with the exception of biographies and autobiographies, which have that storytelling element, so they stay with you. So I think it's a good idea with non-fiction to continuously take these notes, so that you get inspired, that wow, I have read so much, and then you later on have this bank of knowledge to fall back on, which will obviously help you in your personal development, as it would increase your knowledge and your reading is not going to waste. So guys, thank you so much for listening. That's it for today. If you like the video, if you like the content, please do press the like button and subscribe to the channel, and do watch out this space for more such videos. Thank you so much. Bye for now.